We are now at the point in our project where we are going to be auditing our digital assets. Now, for PDFs and documents, we're not going to audit those. We're just going to go directly to remediation. But for websites, web apps, mobile apps, we are going to conduct an audit because we need to find the issues that exist on those different digital assets. Now, to conduct an audit, we need a technical accessibility expert with auditing experience. And I have here they must have knowledge of the web content accessibility guidelines. Really, they need to be fluent in the web content accessibility guidelines. And then I also have 1 year of experience in auditing. Now, the reason I say this is because we don't want to be in a situation where you have someone who is trying to rush through accessibility, learn it really fast, and then they're the ones auditing. So there's nothing wrong with having someone internal, someone in-house auditing, but you just want to make sure that they have the requisite experience and expertise to do so. Because if they don't, then we're going to miss the point of auditing, which is to find all of the accessibility issues. If we don't have someone who can find all of the accessibility issues, then our audit is flawed and that's going to affect our whole project. So again, we need that experience and expertise. And when we're auditing, we're looking for a representative sample of the digital assets. So here's where we're going to look for the unique pages, the unique templates, the user flows, the primary user flows. We're also going to look at any unique content and we're going to bring all of that forward and we're going to create a scope for the audit. So in most cases, we won't include all of the different pages or screens of a digital asset. We'll only look to a representative sample, and that representative sample is going to comprise our scope. And the audit report is almost always going to be an Excel spreadsheet format, and that gives you the ability to upload it to Accessibility Tracker and track the issues. More on that in a moment. On this next screen, I have a sample audit report from accessible.org, and you can see just how detailed this is. So let's go through the columns in this spreadsheet. We have the page title and section. That just helps you locate the accessibility issue. We also have the page URL, same thing. It helps us find the accessibility issue. And then we have the environment that produced the issue. So here we have Windows, Chrome, browser, NVDA screen reader, and we also have iOS, Safari browser, and VoiceOver screen reader. Just know that different environment combinations can potentially produce different accessibility issues. So it's very important to know that, and it's very important to define the environment and the technology combinations because we want to know what produced the accessibility issue. And then we have the WCAG success criterion that is applicable for the issue. Then we have the issue title. Then we have the issue description. So again, you can see here, we're going to be very, very detailed because we need to know with precision what accessibility issue exists, what exactly that accessibility issue is. And then here we also have the applicable code. So again, helping anybody who's going through this audit report to find this issue. And then we have the users affected, and then we have the recommended fix. So to help guide the developer or whoever it is that's going through this audit report, help them with fixing this actual accessibility issue. And if we have this Excel spreadsheet audit report, we can upload it to Accessibility Tracker. We can assign different team members to different issues. And then we can also have AI help us with the fixes as we are going through our audit report. And that is how we can track each and every issue and know with precision how far along we are with progress. And it doesn't matter what technical accessibility standard we're looking at, we'll know exactly where we stand with, okay, we fixed this many issues, we have this many left, and you can even ask the AI, how long do you think it will take us to finish our project based on how fast we've completed so far. So the point is that Accessibility Tracker can really help you with your project, but this is an accessibility audit report from accessible.org. Again, you can produce your own in-house. And for continuing on with the details of the audit, you need to know the technical standard that you're looking for. Most people are looking for WCAG 2.1 AA or WCAG 2.2 AA. You also need to know what the environments that you want the audit conducted in. It could be mobile, it could be desktop, or it could be both. So for example, for a desktop software, it's just going to be a desktop audit. For a native mobile app, it's just going to be a mobile audit. But even with that, you might want both iOS and Android environments. So keep that in mind. You also need to know the scope. We talked about the scope earlier. Again, we're looking for a representative sample of the different pages and screens. And there can also be different views that are within scope. So with pages, just think of the page at a URL. For a screen, think of a pop-up or with a screen on mobile. And then with a view, think about a different view within a page or screen. So let's just say you're on a page and you can toggle to a different view. We want to make sure to account for that different view and the various content within that view in the scope. And you can also look at your analytics. If you really want to get detailed, you can look at the analytics and see how people most often access your digital asset, and then use that to inform your audit environments. All right, so continuing on, again, we have screen reader and browser. So what is your preference here? We use a default, we use default technology combinations at accessible.org. But for you, it may be that you prioritize, let's say, JAWS screen reader and Chrome browser. Whatever the case is, this is another consideration. And then the timeline here is likely going to be 2 to 3 weeks per digital asset, depending on who you go through. For accessible.org, we're able to deliver most audits within 2 weeks. Now, for an audit, you want to make sure that this is 100% manual. You do not want an automated scan. This is not an audit. An automated scan can be a part of an audit as a review, but it should never be the primary source of issues. So we never want to copy and paste from a scan, and that is because scans are so limited, and the point of the audit is that we're going to find all of the accessibility issues, and we're going to have confidence and certainty that we have found all or nearly all of the accessibility issues. And we also don't want a hybrid combination. So we don't want to have where we are copying and pasting from audit results on one part of our audit and then adding to that screen reader testing. No, we want to have a fully manual audit. And on this next screen, I have really the bullet points that you want to look for. So you want screen reader testing, you want keyboard testing, you want visual inspection, you want an audible inspection, you want a code inspection where applicable. And then I have here, we could use browser zoom, we could use a color contrast analyzer, and then we can use an automated scan as a review. So it's good to have an automated scan, but we don't want to rely upon it. So the way to think about it is we want to make sure that all accessibility issues that are correctly identified by a scan are included in our audit report, but we don't want to simply take the scan results and rely upon them. So last, if you need an audit, if you need help with an audit, you can get one at accessible.org. You can also get the supporting services. And then there is a cost calculator if you need help estimating the cost of an accessibility audit. Also, as I was talking about, Accessibility Tracker is a platform that tracks all accessibility issues, and it has AI to help your team with the fixes. The AI is invaluable and will save a lot of time, especially in validation. And we'll talk about more about validation in a moment in another lesson. And then last, in the description for this lesson, there is a playlist that includes the other lessons in this training. There will also be updates and then more resources to help you with your accessibility project. That is going to do it for this lesson. We will continue on with the next.